Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So here I'm with the flip through of the month of June in my Hobonichi Cousin. So let us begin. Now I have added this cover in the month of June. You have probably not seen it before. It has just been added and I'm using it with a cover on cover. I just removed it for the sake of the video. Now this is my first spread, as always, not used in the month of June because I've not been paid in June. So my income is not consistent. I receive from multiple sources at a time in a month, and there are some months like June where I do not get paid at all, so I have to be really careful with my money. And I just track here so that I know which dates I have received on. So here you can see that I have received 3 times in the month of May, while here there is only one in most other cases and none in the month of June, so that I am aware of the sources, the amount that I have received, because none of it is consistent. Now this is simply for me to take note of all of it on a single page instead of having to go through my entire bank account to see the details. Now let us go ahead to the next spread, which is the index. Usually I don't have some sort of bookmark for it. Since I got this cover, I decided to place this bookmark over here. I don't really need one for this one because I come to the index only once in a month. I do not update it on a daily basis. Now what I do here is I update this index based on my daily pages where I journal or I do memory keeping. And as you can see, sometimes it is quite empty because I don't journal every day, and if I journal, maybe there is nothing relevant enough to come in the index. So the relevant topics come up in the index and I have filled them up. Frankly, now it is time to go to the next 6 months, so I'll be placing it over here. Then let's come to the monthly spreads. June surprisingly was one of the months where I had a very empty monthly spread. If you've seen my previous monthlies, you know that they're very packed as such. Nevertheless, this is my monthly spread for the month of June. Few updates here and there. Bills, I think, oh my goodness, good I did a flip through. I have actually not updated my bills. No, now when I put bills over here, they are not a reminder for me to pay. It is just a note of the day I have paid the bill, so that I know that this was the amount and I have paid it on that specific day. So for me it's not a reminder, and it is good that I did a flip through and I've come to just notice that I have not written it down. There are all these circle stickers indicating either birthdays and anniversaries of certain events, which I know what each color indicates, so I'm clear about that. There are some random things that come up I highlight in a random color. It does not mean anything specific. There is update regarding my social media as well, which I was very weak in the month of June, sadly. Now let's go ahead into the to-do section, which is the weeklies. Here is where I am, I would say, the most consistent. June was okay for me. I wouldn't say it was great. Now this is probably the first or one of the few times that you have seen stickers in my weeklies. The reason is simple. I did a declutter, as I said, and I had some of these stickers that were from the seasonal surprise boxes from Erin Condren. I wanted the box for a certain item, not for these stickers. I hate the stickers that come in the SSBs because they are just not my style. Now what I did is I had in fact finished the month of June. I did this, I think, on the 1st of July. I don't even remember now, after the weeklies were done. So these are just random stickers placed because I just wanted to use them somehow. I did not know anyone that I could give these stickers to because the people I know who use planners are not into these stickers. So I had to just use them in my planner. Now as far as the system is concerned, I use these EC bookmarks to mark the monthlies, weeklies and dailies, and I love them. You can still find them on the site, I believe. I have been using them, I think, since last year. They leave slight dents on the page, which is not a huge issue for me. It doesn't tear the page, and they go once after a while after you remove them, so not really something that bothers me. Now I generally divide my weeklies into 3 sections. As you can see, 1 week I have not bothered to fill in. There is a reason for that, but coming back to the weeklies, there are 3 sections here. So it is generally me time, to do and events. Like I said, I was not very consistent in the month of June, but it was a decent month. Now, just to be clear, you don't need a habit tracker for anything and everything. I track these, I think, 5 habits simply because they are not a habit for me. If I don't track my water intake, I tend to, not drink up to the amount that is needed for me as an individual regularly. But there are many habits, once it became a habit for me. Which is a wrong sentence. There are many things which became a habit for me and I stopped tracking them over the course of time, but these are something that I still don't maintain consistently. That is why it comes on my planner. In any case, the me time is a section for my hobbies like reading, maybe shows that I watch. To-dos are of course the tasks that I do, and of course events are events that are relevant for me. Now just be clear on this as well. Just because I write the events doesn't mean I attend them. I write them so that I am aware of when these events took place, where, and such details. Not necessary that I actually go for all of them. Now the final section that I have is my today section, which is for my dailies. It always begins with a dashboard where I just write a quote that I liked, or maybe something that interested me this month. And this month it has been this message, a note to introverts, which I feel is suitable because I am one. And then what I do for the daily section is that I divide the first 7 pages by drawing across the dotted line, and I divide it into 7 categories. These 7 categories are relevant for me. Now the first one is YouTube, so I just write down the days that I generally post, which is a Sunday, and then I write my plan for the month. And then of course I have Instagram. As you can see, I was not really active this month. I don't have a separate social media planner this year. Instead what I do is this, because I have a lot of space in my cousin, I've just tried to incorporate it here. Then from here onwards I have sort of wish list. So there is skincare, which is a category that I love a lot. I have bought sunscreens this month. Hair care, I have actually only bought one thing from this list, which is coconut oil, and that is why I find this list actually useful. Why I do this list is because I create a list. There are some things that I buy if I really need it. Others I may forward it to the next month if I still feel that I want it and I couldn't buy it this month. And others which I just cross off, which I feel that maybe I really don't need it. Okay, I really don't need to buy it. It is just a want. I can, skip buying it. So it is crossed off from the list. So that is what I do. I either take forward or put across as required. Then there is stationery. How this benefits is because I am a low spend person, not a no spend person. So what I do is I try to buy less, not that I won't buy at all as far as these categories are concerned, and this works for me. When I create this list, it helps me to either lose interest in that specific product or have so much interest that I stick to buying it when I write it every month. Okay, and that is what I do. So there is makeup. I don't really use makeup. If at all, it is just lipstick. That is the only makeup I use, if at all. And that's that. As far as the sections otherwise are concerned, as you can see, I journal and then I highlight the title by using the bigger side of the marker pen, and that's it. As I said, I was trying to use up the stickers or washi that I have. That is the only reason you see this sort of decoration in here. And yes, most of these pages are blank this month. Not really, I was not really, up to date with these pages, and that doesn't bother me heavily. But considering that these pages are largely empty, I think I have, in mind a different planner that I want to use for next year. Maybe not the Hobonichi Cousin for next year. Even though I love the Cousin, I feel that this is a little wasteful. It doesn't bother me heavily, like I said, but I still feel that it is not right when I have other options available. Earlier there were no other options, but now I feel that with the new planner releases there are more choices. So I am kind of considering moving into another one for next year. Let me know what are your thoughts on those as well, as far as moving into another planner for next year is concerned. So this is the end of June. Then let's just come to the end where I have my books to read section. frankly, reading is kind of disastrous this month, the month of June, and it's also a mess. I don't know how this happened, but anyway, for the month of June, I had this book ready in Audible, but then I tried to read it again and again repeatedly by, of course, listening to it, not read it as such, but it just didn't work out. I think I was distracted by a number of things happening that month, not that the book was actually boring. Because if the book was boring, I would have mentioned that. That is not the case. I just couldn't read it. And frankly, usually I would try to forcefully read it the next month, but I've tried to avoid it this month, and I'm going to try a new book for the month of July. But that is that. As far as the reading tracker is concerned, I kind of like this though, this section that is there together. Frankly, it was not together. I made it over here so that it connects with this. In any case, this is my Hobonichi Cousin for the month of June. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye guys.